Hi, welcome to another video of our Matric 2020 mathematics walkthrough for paper 1. In this video, we're going to be doing question 1.2. As we get closer to the actual exam, we are going to be increasing the frequency of videos. We want to complete at least both paper 1 and paper 2. So you could expect a few videos from us. So stay tuned, share this with anybody you think might find this beneficial. And yeah, all the best. So let's get straight into it. We are looking at 1.2 over here. This question says the following. This question says 16 square root of 16x to the power of 7 minus square root of 25 times x to the power of 7 over the square root of x. Okay. For a question like this, you need to know your exponent laws and your surd laws. Okay. So we're gonna, as I work through the problem over here, I will tell you what relevant exponent law or surd law we are applying to get to that. Okay. This question is worth 3 marks, so as we recommend, you shouldn't spend any more than 3 minutes really on this question. Another thing to note is that since these kind of questions, especially towards the end of the first question and towards the end of most questions, they are a bit more complicated than the first few questions. So if you feel that you're not going to be able to do this, then the best thing to do would be to skip it and come back to this question at the end. Okay. That's the wisest thing to do, just to make sure that you save time and you actually get to those questions that you are able to solve. But if you feel confident about solving this, then let's go through it. You can go straight through it and tackle it. Yeah. So what do we have here? We have 16 times x to the power of 7, the square root of 16 times x to the power of 7 minus the square root of 25 times x to the power of 7, all divided by the square root of x. Okay, so the first thing that we notice is that there's a rule for surds. If you have two numbers multiplied by each other and you're taking the square root of those two numbers, the rule is that you can separate them. A times b, the square root of a times b is the same as the square root of a multiplied by the square root of b. So we're going to apply that law over here on top to simplify the numerator. Least, right? Remember the question. This question, they want you to simplify this expression over here, not necessarily solve for x. So the first step I'm going to take is I'm going to change this using that rule over there. So this becomes the square root of 16 multiplied by the square root of x to the power of 7 minus, same thing here, the square root of 25 multiplied by the square root of x to the power of 7. Okay, so there we go, and then we have the square root of x. Okay, okay, so now we have the square root of 16, which is 4, multiplied by the square root of x to the power of 7 minus square root of 25, which is 5, multiplied by the square root of x to the power of 7 all over square root of x. Okay. All right. The next thing that we can do is we see, okay, so now we notice that this is the square root of x to the power of 7 and this is the square root of x to the power of 7. And that's basically a common factor. Something like 2a, well, let's say 3a minus a, for example, right? Since there's a common factor, we can take the common factor out. So we can take the common factor out and we can say this becomes 3 minus 1, right? A times 3 is 3a and a times negative 1 is negative a. Well, we could think of the square root of x to the power of 7 as a, right? It's exactly the same thing. So, this is the same as that. So since it's a common factor, we can take that common factor out over there. X to the power of 7. And then we have a bracket. 4 minus 5. How did I get that? Well, x to the power of 7 times 4 and x to the power of 7, x to the power of 7, square root of x to the power of 7 multiplied by negative 5 gives me the numerator over there. And then I still have the square root of x here. And there we go. So now we can say 4 minus 5, and that's going to be negative 1. So what we could do is the following. We could say, well, okay, this is x to the power of 7 over square root of x, and this is multiplied by -1. Now, since we're multiplying by -1, the only thing that's going to happen is this, whatever the answer for this is over here, it's just going to be negative. Anything you multiply by -1, it just becomes negative of whatever that is. So we can actually ignore this over here, or we can put it here in front. We can actually do anything with it as long as we know that at the end, whatever the answer is for square root of x to the power of 7 divided by square root of x, the answer will just be the negative version because we're multiplying by -1. So we could put this negative in front and ignore it. Just leave it there, right? And then we just deal with this over here. So we have square root of x to the power of 7 divided by the square root of x. Okay, how do we deal with this? How do we deal with this? Let's see. So now we notice, and we need to know another exponent law. There's an exponent law that says if you have any number a to the power of m, where m is any number, and you take the nth root. What do I mean by the nth root? Well, normally we have the square root. When we have the square root, then this number is going to be 2. It could be a cube root, 3, it could be a fourth root, fifth root, sixth root, seventh root. We are interested in any number here and any number here, right? The rule is that if any number a is raised to some number m, and we're taking the nth root, then that becomes the same as m, a to the power of m divided by n. That's the exponent law. So we're going to use that exponent law here over here. So we're going to have the -1 over there, right? And then we're going to say this is x to the power of 7, the square root of x to the power of 7. So this just becomes x to the power of 7 over 2 divided by, well, this is x to the power of 1, square root of x to the power of 1. So that just becomes x to the power of half. And for those of you who might know, there's another rule, exponent law, that we can apply over here to simplify that. The exponent law says that if any number a is raised to the power of m, and it is divided by the same number a to the power of n, then we can change that into keeping one base, and we just say it's m minus n. So applying that law, we could say over here that this becomes x to the power of 7 over 2 minus 1 over 2. 7 over 2 minus half. Well, that becomes -1 over here. X to the power of 6 over 2, which is just 3. 6 over 2, which is just -1 x to the power of 3. And that's your answer. And well, obviously you don't have to write the 1 over there, so your final answer will be -x to the power of 3. And that is the final answer. So such a question, you get 3 marks. Okay, the mark allocation will be split as follows. If you got to this step over here where you actually square rooted the 16 and you square rooted that out over there, you get 1 mark for that. You'd get another mark for this part over here where you actually took the -1 out. Okay, or could say that part over there, and then the last mark you will get for the final answer. I hope that's clear. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.